Hi there, it's Mike. In this video I wanted to talk a little bit about how I got my camera quality from something like this to this. So this is the initial shot that I've recorded a few of my videos with. I've maybe changed the background, so this is just my standard background, but sometimes I put up a green screen and just to sort of try and improve my shot a little bit without really changing anything else. So this is how my shot has always been. And in this video I'm just going to walk through the things I've been doing this past week to try and hopefully make the image a little bit better and the shot a little bit more professional, because I don't know about you, but for me, if I'm going to be putting out lots of videos, I wanted to try and do the things in the early videos before doing too many videos and then looking back in years time and thinking, oh my god, this is quite bad. So the first thing I'm going to do is switch up my audio. So that's step number one, is the audio. So at the moment I've got it just my Logitech webcam that I spoke about in the post that I'll link to below, and I'm using the microphone on that Logitech webcam. So next I'm going to switch that to the Rode mic. So I'm using this microphone, so the Rode mic, to capture my audio. So this is before, it doesn't sound great. This is the audio on the Rode, so there's a few things, I'm just talking directly into it and it's a little bit out of shot, so you can see it's here. Maybe the audio gets a bit better if it's closer in here, but for now I'm just keeping it set on the desk, just slightly out of shot, and I've not adjusted any of the audio in post. So where there's the MacBook fan making a little bit of whirring, and there's the heater system to the right of me making a constant So again, I don't know if you can hear that in this video, but I can certainly hear it now while I'm shooting. So that's the first thing, I've changed up the mic. So the next thing is the audio in post. So in post-production I will reduce background noise and I'll just normalize the audio a little bit so that it's the loudest points I brought up, and it just brings the rest of the clip up to a nice audio level for listening, but still with the peaks and troughs, so it's not that straight, like level, single, like monotone voice. It's still got the ups and the downs. So that's the change that I'll be making now. So this is the audio after it's been adjusted, so you can hopefully not hear as much background noise. It's a little bit more easier to listen, so if I'm a little bit too far away from the mic, it's brought things up a little bit, but everything else in my natural voice is still being captured. So that's that step. And the next thing to look at is the lighting. So as we said before, I have the ceiling lights on, and I've now put a very low level blue light in the background, but it's just been washed out by the ceiling lights. So the first thing I'm going to do is turn on my key light. So I've got a key light up to the right, so the key light is lighting my face, and I'm going to turn the rest of the ceiling lights off. So now you can see the key light is on and it's casting quite a shadow, and it's making my face quite bright. So if I've got a dimmable key light, so I can bring that down, and now it's starting to look a bit better. But I don't know about you, I've got a smartphone in my pocket, so I'm just going to connect that up and start using that instead of this Logitech. So I've had this camera for ages. I'd looked at, do I want to buy a new camera for £600 and just get a top of the range camera that'll make my shot a lot better? And I thought, well, I've got a smartphone in my pocket, and it's a relatively new Google Pixel, so I'm going to switch to using that out of the box. So it will go from an image like this to this. So you can see the difference that that's made. It's just brightened up the picture, giving me a little bit more definition, because it's just a much better camera than the old Logitech camera that I've got, and you're just carrying it around in your pocket. So that is me just switching directly from Logitech to the Google 6. So Google 6 to Logitech, to Google 6 to Logitech. So again, you can see hopefully the difference that it's making there with the lights and just using your smartphone camera has really brought things forward. So this is a pretty good shot already, but I'm going to tinker around a little bit with it, and hopefully I won't make it too garish. So depending on your shot, like I've got another key light that I can turn on, but I'm going to leave that off for now. I'm going to bring this one down a little bit further just to bring a bit of, I think that feels a little bit more of a normal photo, and then I can jump into the camo settings, and so I can change the exposure, so I can bring that, so I brought the ISO all the way down, and then bringing up the brightness. So again, a lower ISO generally it's letting less light into the camera, and then I'm brightening up the picture. So again, I'm not an expert in cameras, but you tell me, is this a little bit better, is it a little bit worse? And then there's other things I can tinker with, so I can look at the sharpness of the picture. So again, before and after. So again, you can see my beard is going a little bit sharper. You can see a few of the greys in there, and you can see a bit of detail in the chair there, just being picked up in the sharpness and a bit higher up. So the sharpness is doing what it says on the tin, it is sharpening parts of the image. But it's up to you where you go with that. So you can bring it down slightly. So I've made it a little bit sharper. And then you can, what you can do, you can certainly see how that's making an impact if I were to use the zoom on the pixel. So it's quite a good camera, so I can zoom in and you can see it again there. So I'm a little bit closer now, and you can see that impact of the sharpness. It's certainly over by my right ear, but the sharper I go, it is bringing out stitching. So again, just play with the sharpness settings, and I'm going to jump back out to the normal zoom. So I think if you zoom in, get the sharpness to a level that you feel is capturing the detail, because then once it's on, like rendered down to a zoom or to a YouTube, then when you're shooting at this level, then it will just bring it and make it look that a little bit better. So that's where I've got to with those settings, and there's other ones. You can change saturation if you want to mess around with the colour a little bit, so you can bring it up and down. And then you can also change the white balance, so if you're looking a little bit too blue, you can just bring a little bit more colour in to the shots. So there we go. So that has, with a bit of tinkering that I got from the image that we started with, which was this, and to this image. So again, it's quite blue in the background now. I've been tinkering probably a little bit too much, so just before we finish the image, I'm just going to bring the contrast down, and that will just get rid of a little bit of. So again, contrast is up and it's really blue, so again, just bringing it down, and you can just mess with this until you get an image that you're completely happy with. And again, same with the key light, you can just make it a little bit brighter, a little bit less brighter, and same with the sharpness. So it generally works quite well. Still feels a little bit dark for me at the moment, so I'm just going to touch it up a smidgen more. And there we go. So hopefully this will show you that you can get decent images just through the equipment that you've got, with just the addition of just one LED panel. So if you like this video, please do subscribe and hit that notification bell, and I'll see you in the next one.